The Skarloey Railway. There's no other railway quite like it. I mean, apart from one, but anyway. On this railway runs quite the cast of characters. But there's one who stands out among the rest, and that is Peter Sam. While not everyone's favourite narrow gauge engine, no one dislikes Peter Sam. Everyone likes Peter Sam, and for good reasons. Today, we'll be diving into what makes him such a charming character. He's Peter Sam, and he's running this line. The best way I say to describe Peter Sam is a phrase, which I think suits him very well. Childhood innocence.
Goody two shoes. Hey!
That really is the best way to describe his character. In his first few appearances, he's a very naive character, but deep down he means well and treats everyone equally, while Sir Handel will treat the coaches nice when he's in the mood. No matter how good the trucks are behaving, Sir Handel will still bump them around, unlike Peter Sam, who will always be nice to the coaches and would only bump trucks if they misbehave. The trucks even seem to have a respect for him.
No, wailed the empty trucks. It's Peter Sam.
Now, since Peter Sam is so naive, he can sometimes be the punching bag of the railway. Moments, for example, being Henry tricking him, Sir Handel tricking him into doing his work, or when he made a whole song to make fun of him. God, why is he even friends with Sir Handel? Though, that's sort of sweet in a way. Peter Sam always sees the good in others, and somehow he always finds it. Sir Handel can be a jerk as much as he wants, but Peter Sam will always see the good in him. Since Peter Sam usually gets the arse end of things, it makes the episode, Special Funnel, very satisfying to watch, where he finally comes out on top. Now thanks to his Special Funnel, he's now one of the railway's best engines. When the hit era came along, Peter Sam didn't do too much. Though what's interesting is that he went from being a childlike character to temporarily becoming a moody teen. I like to think in The Magic Lamp, this is the moment where he's like, hey, I don't want to look like the naive one anymore. I don't believe that shit. Kinda like Kevin McAllister acting all tough in front of the family.
I have work to do, huffed Peter Sam. I'm a really useful engine, not a really silly one.
What a troubled young man.
Though, he's still the same Peter Sam though, and by the end it's back to the norm, and keeps that childhood innocent personality for the rest of the series. To understand where Peter Sam's character came from, we'll have to look at his real-life basis, Edward Thomas. Built in 1921 and first running on the Corris Railway, the engine performed much better than the other Falcons on the railway. Though sadly the Corris Railway would eventually close, though there was light at the end of the tunnel. Corris would eventually reopen, and Edward Thomas and one of the Falcons would find himself a new home on the Tally-Flynn Railway. Edward Thomas would get the title as one of the most reliable engines on the line, while the Falcon, now named Sir Hayden, would prove to be rather troublesome at times. Sound familiar? It's true. Edward Thomas was a true legend on the Tally-Flynn, and whenever the railway was holding a Thomas event, Edward Thomas would take the main spotlight, even being the main character of the first two Audrey extravaganzas. Sadly, Edward Thomas would have to leave for an overhaul by the time the third Audrey extravaganza rolled around. Though, as of 2024, Edward Thomas has returned, and as of the making of this video, is back in regular service, now running in its best livery as far. Now, we've gone over Peter Sam's character and the story of his real life basis. Let's discuss what makes him such a charming character, but I'm not going to do it alone. Take it away, Adam.
Hey all, I think Peter Sam is a really underrated character. You know, there's no other character quite like him. He's a very wholesome character. He's almost kind of naive in the way he goes about things. Now, he can be cross as well and annoying at times. People always go on about how much they love Sir Handel and why, you know, they think Sir Handel is really great. I always felt like Peter Sam and Sir Handel are kind of like a yin and yang to each other. Sir Handel is very cross and annoyed, and he's always very mean. Like, for example, when he first shows up to the shed, he's the one who's saying that, like, oh, look at how ugly it is. Whereas Peter Sam is the one who's saying, like, he thinks it's nice, you know? So again, Peter Sam and Sir Handel are kind of like a yin and yang to each other. They sort of complement each other in a way. That's what makes their dynamic with Duke interesting, because they're like a yin and yang, and Duke is like their grandpa, basically. But what I like about Peter Sam is that, like, he's very young, he's very, I would say, holistic. He hasn't really experienced the world yet. Now, a lot of his episodes do deal with him sort of experiencing things. He's not like other Thomas characters, you know, most other Thomas characters are either they have very lived experience, or they might also be young. But, like, there's a difference between Percy and Peter Sam, I feel. Percy is sort of like more put upon, and he is a bit naive, but like Peter Sam just has this sort of innocence to him that's really adorable. And it's really, there's no other character I can think of that like has that adorability factor. Like Percy is obviously adorable as well, but like he can be very gruff at times. Paxton can be a bit of an idiot, but what I love about Peter Sam is that he's a really wholesome, kind character, and I love his yin and yang relationship with Sir Handel.
Thank you, Adam. There's one thing I'd like to add. One thing I really like is, no matter how misfortunate Peter Sam can be, like losing his trucks, losing his whistle, or heck, even losing his funnel, it never gets under his skin, and he's still a happy-go-lucky engine. You won't ever find him like Bill Moat, where he tries to kill himself because of his bad luck. You can always picture Peter Sam in a childlike role, for sure. There's a certain song that reminds me of Peter Sam, that being Break My Stride. In my opinion, the perfect song to match his personality. There really is no other character quite like Peter Sam, no one that is as naive, as unlucky, or that has a heart like Peter Sam. I'd like to use this time to thank the Tallyflin Railway for keeping Edward Thomas running and thus creating the inspiration for the character of Peter Sam. And if you're ever in Wales, I highly recommend stopping by town and showing your support to the Tallyflin. Now, let me transition out of here playing the song that fits Peter Sam best. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.
Last night I had the strangest dream. I sailed away to China in a little rowboat to find you, and you said you had to get your laundry cleaned. Didn't want no one to hold you, what does that mean? And you said, ain't nothing gonna break my stride, nobody gonna slow me down, oh no. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm fine. I'm fine. Oh.